what are the challenges for implementing the content safety, and what are the challenges that are differ from the traditional ML?
There's a huge difference between the challenges that we face in generative AI and the one we face in traditional AI.
What are the available guardrails, and like how we ensure that the content safety in AI is like implemented?
Actually, no matter how advanced a generative AI model is, but it still needs some sort of mechanism to ensure the content safety, right?
What are the future implementation or the future plan for content safety in your opinion?
So you have to create a mechanism by combining multiple things, right?
Hello everyone, I'm Wajiha, AI engineer at Mobiz. I welcome you all to another episode of a podcast by Mobiz. Today we are discussing a very important and critical topic in the field of Gen AI. What's the content safety in Gen AI? How do we handle, and what are the available guardrails for that? For that, joining me is my fellow AI engineer here at Mobiz, Farman. Hello Farman.
Hello, Jiha. Thank you.
Farman, let's start with a very basic concept of the content safety in the field of Gen AI, and why it's important for the organization that uses the Gen AI.
Okay. So as we know that with the help of GNI, we can create content in different form. You will just ask a question, you will get a response in the form of text or images. And the response that we are getting is solely based on the training data that the model has been trained on it and the prompt we are passing to the model. But sometimes the model generate responses which may contain inappropriate information or incorrect information, or it can be biased toward specific person or group, or it may share some personal information without realizing it. So that's where content safety comes in. So it's all about restricting your generative LLMs from generating incorrect information, and that's include uh, filtering out the abusive language, biasness from your content, and so on.
Okay, so as we know, there are many challenges in the field of AI, traditional AI. So, in the Gen AI, so what are the challenges for implementing the content safety, and what are the challenges that are differ from the traditional ML?
Okay. So there's a huge difference between the challenges that we face in generative AI and the one we face in traditional AI. If you talk about the traditional AI, so things are pretty simple, right? We usually work on a specific and fixed task, right? Like we do a classification task, a regression task, something like that. So we have an idea about the output. The output is structured and it's predictable, so it's easier to test and monitor and ensure safety over there, right? While in Gen AI, the situation is very different. Like if you know that Gen AI create new content when you if you ask the same question again and again, so it will give you answer with slight different answers,
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
So so due to this unpredictability, it's a bit difficult to uh, if we compare it with the traditional AI. Moreover, apart from the unpredictability, there is another issue, biasness, because the model has been trained on the vast amount of data, right? And you know, the internet, everything is not fair or neutral, right? So it learns biasness, and due to this, it can give you incorrect information.
Exactly, because the LLM is trained on the whole corpus available on the internet,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why. Exactly. So we talk about the challenges, we talk about the basic concepts. So let's come toward the implementation parts. So what are the available guardrails, and like how we ensure that the content safety in AI is like implemented?
Yeah. Actually, no matter how advanced a generative AI model is, but it is still needs some sort of mechanism to ensure the content safety, right? So there are certain mechanism that developer can use to guide the Gen AI model and tell them to generate perfect responses, right? And if you talk about the content moderation APIs, so what it does, it just automatically scan the content and look for inappropriate context content, and we can have prompt filtering before giving a question to the model, so we can just look into it and remove the irrelevant thing from it. Apart from that,
We can one thing that I have idea about is like if we can implement the multiple layers in between the input and output. Like if the user asks some question, so there's another LLM who try to filter that whether this question is related to content safety, like this is the right question to ask. So we can implement that thing as well, just like Nemo guardrails. We can implement that. So that
yeah, exactly.
exactly. So, what are the future implementation or the future plan for content safety in your opinion
uh,
that company should take
yeah, actually,
steps?
it's not just a one time fix, right? It's a continuous process. You have to create a mechanism by combining multiple things, right? You have to filter the data. You should take you should have a feedback mechanism. You can you can have other tools and techniques as well, right? You can just write your custom rules which uh, extract the personal information, like for example, if a response contain a phone number, so it should remove that. So by combining all these things, we can just handle this problem, and if we do it in a better way now, so in the future we will be having very useful and safer tool.
So, Farman, what are the potential risks in Gen AI? How do we improve it, and what are the future implementation or improvement in the field of Gen AI?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, it's an ongoing process, and it should be a multi-layered effort, right? So it's not just like you just train and test a model for once and then forget about it. So you should continuously monitor it, that what sort of responses it generates against a tricky prompt, right?
Okay,
So there
like
should,
feedbacks.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So there should be an easy option for the user, that if something is irrelevant or something is not according to
Or
the, yeah,
biased.
yeah,
Exactly.
bias, so he should flag that as
Yes.
inappropriate, right?
Um,
And I think we should also have a feedback mechanism as well,
okay.
automatic feedback mechanism as well. And moreover,
So yeah, exactly.
that's what it was in my mind. So what's in your opinion?
In my opinion, as Farman mentioned about the potential risk and what is the content safety, so in my opinion, just continuous improvement, feedback, handling bias should be incorporated. Other than that, right now we have advanced technologies that's betterly handling the inputs and outputs. Like I mentioned, Nemo guardrails. So we have line graph in which we can implement the level of safety to like handling the input and output. So in my opinion, implementing the layer of safety in both in term of input and output, fine tuning the model, and also getting the feedback as Framan mentioned, and again fine tuning your model and adding multiple type of a data helps to improve the content safety. That's it for today. I think this is a very wonderful discussion with Farman. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Farman.
thank you, Vijay.
Hope this podcast helps our audience to get knowledge about the content safety in generative AI. So that's it. Thank you so much.